In the present day, we find ourselves bearing witness to a time in human history that is quite unlike any other that has come before it. The rapid and relentless pace of technological advancement has ushered in a new era of global interconnectedness that has touched nearly every facet of our lives. It is arguable, and with good reason, that we are currently living through the most astonishing and remarkable period ever documented in the annals of time. Yet, paradoxically, the vast majority of individuals seem to be blissfully unaware of the magnitude of this moment, ensconced within the confines of their own cognitive bubbles. The past and the future, it's crucial to recognize, exist not as isolated entities, but rather as integral components of an unceasing continuum. They exert a dynamic influence upon one another, all mediated through the lens of the present. While our physical bodies inexorably move forward in the unrelenting march of time, the subatomic particles and ethereal waves that underlie the very fabric of reality operate in a manner that is decidedly nonlinear, allowing them to traverse both forwards and backwards along the temporal spectrum. It is through the acts of remembering our past experiences and imaginatively constructing our future possibilities that we, as sentient beings, navigate and transcend the boundaries of time, traversing its landscape within the realm of our consciousness. In our modern age, there is a prevailing sentiment that the past holds little relevance to our contemporary lives. Many view ancient traditions, particularly those associated with religion, as antiquated relics of a bygone era, no longer necessary or applicable to our modern sensibilities. However, in our haste to embrace the future, we must not recklessly discard the wisdom that the past has to offer. A closer examination of human history reveals the enduring foundations upon which our present society is firmly grounded. For instance, the ancient Sumerians' introduction of the 24-hour clock system remains in universal use to this very day. Similarly, the ethical principles and moral laws that were originally established in biblical times continue to exert a profound and enduring influence on our contemporary moral and ethical frameworks. The progression of human civilization, it is important to note, is not merely confined to the realm of technology. It extends to the very language we employ to articulate our thoughts and ideas. From the humble practice of utilizing oil to illuminate a simple lamp to the development of internal combustion engines powered by petroleum, we witness not only the evolution of technology, but also the evolution of language itself. To this day, we continue to measure the power of our automobiles in horsepower, a term that directly harkens back to the tangible, physical strength of a horse. This linguistic transformation mirrors the refinement and expansion of our collective understanding, giving rise to new tools, systems, and ways of existence that fundamentally shape the contours of our individual and collective identities. Nevertheless, as we navigate the complex landscape of the present day, we do so on a precipice, teetering on the edge of profound transformation and potential peril. The very technology that we have harnessed and created, coupled with the manner in which we have chosen to structure our societies, has ensnared us within a labyrinth of illusion. This intricate web of illusion often captivates our attention, fixating it upon a narrowly defined set of criteria that we have been led to believe, if attained, will inevitably lead to happiness, fulfillment, and success. Yet, these illusory pursuits serve only to perpetuate a deeply rooted fallacy that resides within the human psyche, giving birth to unhappiness, discontent, and suffering. If left unexamined and unresolved, we run the perilous risk of losing sight of the proverbial forest for the trees in our ceaseless pursuit of life's meaning and purpose. At its core, the challenge that confronts us is deceptively simple in its essence, yet profoundly complex in its implications. We must learn to reconcile duality with wholeness, a task that hinges upon our ability to embrace and reconcile paradox within our very beings. When we succeed in reconciling paradox, we transcend the divisive dualities that threaten to cleave us asunder, gaining access to the wellspring from which all aspects of existence emanate. It is vital to comprehend that, at the most fundamental levels of reality, all things exist as interconnected components of a dynamic unity, breathing life into the multiplicity of creation. This unity has been given many names throughout human history, from God to spirit. The term spirit itself, rooted in the concept of an animating principle, serves as a testament to this profound understanding, a recognition of a foundational source from which the material reality derives its animation and vitality. Yet, a question looms large. How does this dynamic, interconnected unity give rise to the multiplicity of creation that we find ourselves surrounded by today, where everything appears separate, distinct, and divisible? The answer, while seemingly elusive, is striking in its simplicity. It is through our very perception itself. Presently, division reigns supreme. Families find themselves torn apart by internal conflicts. Nations engage in conflicts with one another, and within some nations, power structures oppress their own citizens, either overtly or covertly. These divisions are not inherent to our existence, but are rather products of our perception, a perception that falsely, albeit convincingly, portrays a world marked by disconnection and isolation. Were we to perceive the underlying unity that binds all of existence, we would never contemplate betraying or exploiting our fellow human beings for personal gain. Instead, we would recognize and embrace our roles as caretakers of our planet, tending to the well-being of our environment and fellow inhabitants with a sense of responsibility and stewardship. The resolution of this paradox lies in our capacity to hold within our minds multiple, often contradictory, ideas simultaneously and impartially weigh them against the truth of our own conscience. It necessitates liberating ourselves from the constraints of personal bias and the insatiable desire to be invariably correct. When each one of us embarks on this transformative journey, we begin to realize that opposing ideas, far from being irreconcilable, frequently represent two ends of a polarizing spectrum and are not as divergent as they initially appear. It is only through this transformative process that we can authentically speak from a place of truth, suffused with compassion for the perspectives of others, liberated from the limitations of our own ego-driven idealism. The ultimate objective, then, becomes the creation of a bridge between our individual awareness of the fundamental dynamic unity and the divisions that currently afflict humanity. If we are to collectively forge a path toward peace and harmony among all peoples, we must be willing to pose profound questions and embark upon an unending exploration of the concept of truth with a capital T. In the absence of a universal metric by which we may objectively ascertain truth, each individual becomes the arbiter of their own truth, potentially leading to a multitude of conflicting subjective truths. While some are open to engaging in respectful debates concerning the nature of authentic reality, many are inclined to retreat into echo chambers, reinforcing their own perspectives and eschewing alternative viewpoints. Truth with a capital T should be apprehended as a concept rather than a tangible entity. The word itself traces its etymological lineage back to the root daru, signifying firmness, solidity, and steadfastness, giving rise to words such as durable, duration, endure, shelter, tree, truce, and trust. In essence, it conveys that which is eternal, enduring, and unchanging, while the material and corporeal realm remains finite and subject to constant flux. In this light, truth can be likened to the unmoving center of a wheel, while the wheel itself, set into motion, revolves around this unchanging core. Truth is not a commodity to be owned, nor is it an object that can be definitively possessed. Instead, it emanates as a quality that flows forth from our sincerity and our capacity to comprehend the unity and interconnectedness that underlie all aspects of existence. When we approach truth from this perspective, it fundamentally shifts our focus away from the pursuit of winning arguments and toward the cultivation of shared understanding and common ground. It transforms our quest from one of asserting our own correctness to one of seeking wisdom and insight. This perspective on truth instills within us the values of humility, empathy, and an open-minded approach to differing viewpoints and experiences. In our ceaseless pursuit of truth, it is imperative to acknowledge that truth is not a final destination, but an ongoing journey, As individuals and as a society, we must pledge ourselves to the unrelenting pursuit of truth, even when it necessitates challenging our preconceived notions and beliefs. This endeavor calls for a commitment to critical thinking, open and respectful dialogue, and an unwavering dedication to learning and personal growth. In summary, the epoch in which we presently reside is characterized by a rapid and relentless march of technological progress, global interconnectedness that touches virtually every aspect of our lives, and a panoply of complex challenges and opportunities. To navigate this intricate terrain successfully, we must embrace the pursuit of truth with a capital T as our guiding principle. This truth is not static or fixed, but is a dynamic, eternal essence that nurtures unity, empathy, and comprehension. By skillfully navigating the realms of paradox and wisdom, we can collectively advance toward a more harmonious, enlightened, and interconnected future, transcending the limitations that have thus far defined our human experience. We sincerely appreciate your support and engagement with our content. If you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, we kindly ask you to take a moment to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and share our videos with your friends and family. Your continued support helps us create more of the content you love. Thank you for being a part of our community.